Tom Coughlin resigned as New York Giants coach on Monday after a 12-year stay that included 2 Super Bowl wins in New York, in addition to a nice run in Jacksonville, where he got that Jaguars franchise off the ground in the 90s. Now here's the question, guys, and I'm going to start with you, Quiet Storm. Is Tom Coughlin a Hall of Fame coach?
Well, when I wrote this up for the site, my take, Greg said right away, this is unclear, because I think my feelings are right down the middle.
Greg, an editor to the bone.
Yeah.
Mark in the middle. It's not really if I had to guess one that would be kind of playing both sides of the fence, that's old Mark Sessler.
Well, because you got the 2
fired.
Super Bowls, and let's not forget what he did in Jacksonville. In the second year of an expansion team, took them to a title game in the AFC, which expansion teams since have suffered. So that's a big feat.
And before.
The thing though is all the seasons around it, where there've just been a lot of mediocre seasons from Coughlin. And for me, I want to know what the real bar is for a coach in the Hall of Fame. That's a little tough to assess, I think, for all of us. But for me, I go no just slightly, but it makes my heart hurt to say no.
Christopher.
It certainly doesn't hurt that he had this job in New York, the media capital of the U.S., with 17 beat writers. If he coached in Kansas City with 1 beat writer, he wouldn't get as much acclaim.
And they all love him as a man.
Right.
Well, you'd be Marty Schottenheimer.
Are you laying this at the feet of Dan Graziano?
I am not. I like Dan Graziano. But I think I'm with Mark. What is the qualification for coaches in the Hall of Fame? It seems harder to get in as a coach than a player.
Well, I think it's too hard.
There are guys like Jimmy Johnson and Tony Dungy and Don Coryell who I believe are Hall of Famers, and they're not in. I would put Jimmy Johnson in before Tom Coughlin.
I am with you, Wes, in the sense that was Tom Coughlin a great coach? At times he was. And Mark, I agree with you on that too. Is he a New York icon in the sports landscape? Yes. For no other reason. If he would have retired after beating the 18-0 Patriots in the Super Bowl, he would always be remembered as one of the best coaches in Giants history. But ultimately, I don't think there's enough there. Can I talk myself into him being one of the best coaches in NFL history? No, so I can't put him in Canton.
I would put him in Canton. I think the bar for coaches is too high. I think Jimmy Johnson should be in, and Don Coryell as well. But think of some of the players that are getting in. Tim Brown, Art Monk, Ricky Jackson. To me, Coughlin gets in because he did it in 2 places. I think coaches should get more credit for a Super Bowl title than players should. The fact that his team won the Super Bowl, to me, means a lot. And the fact that he followed up that conference title game you're talking about in their second season with 4 dominant seasons. So the dominance in the regular season he didn't have in New York, he did have in Jacksonville. Smash it all up, put him in the Hall.
Okay, not dominant in the playoffs, but how about this? Put Jimmy Johnson in, and then we can talk Coughlin.
I'm with you on that.
All right, guys.
Do we think Coughlin...
Jimmy Johnson fan club around here.
Do we think Coughlin coaches again?
Yes.
I think he does.
No.
I do.
Well, we'll find out. That's the good thing about the future. Check out the Around the NFL podcast 3 times a week.